did it. I got a PS5. This is pretty exciting, and let's now unbox it. Right off the bat, this external shell for the PS5 box, it's really delicate, so if you want to keep it in pristine condition, you're going to want to be delicate with it. When it comes to taking out the PS5 itself, it's pretty simple. There's one tiny box with all the extras, and then the PS5 itself. When I finally unwrapped the PS5, oh man, that was honestly a treat. It really does feel like the next gen PlayStation's console. It's fantastic looking. I think the only thing that really turned me off though is just that glossy plastic choice. Matte black everything, man. Shout out to MKBHD, but like that's where it's at. Glossy plastic is gonna scratch. But you know, it is what it is. That's the stylistic choice they went, and I respect it. That's what I think of the console. It's a really pretty controller. I tried showing the texture of the controller in the footage, but you know, I was unable to do that. But you can really feel that rubbery texture, and it's great. I love it. It's a solid controller. Okay, now that we have the unboxing out of the way, let's talk about the PS5 controller versus the PS4 controller. In all honesty, when it comes to ergonomics and design language, the PS5 controller has the PS4 controller beat in every category. When it comes to the comfortability and the duration of playtime with this controller, you can play with this controller hours on end and not feel that fatigue. It's great. I really do enjoy it. When it comes to the haptics and the triggers of the PS5 controller, it truly is advanced in comparison to the PS4, and it makes the experience that much better. This controller is excellent, and it is definitely a fantastic pairing with this new console. Before I get to the 1 month review, I wanted to quickly point on one interesting quirk about the PS5, and that's how you insert the disc. Here's a clip of how it works. The way you insert the disc into the PS5 when it's standing vertically is with the shiny side of the disc facing outwards. It's really awkward at first, but you get used to it. With all of that out of the way, let's now get into the 1 month review of the PS5 and my experiences so far. Right off the bat, you might be wondering, why did I buy a PS5? I'm a PC gamer myself. That's where I do all of my multiplayer gaming. It's an excellent experience, plus it's free. The one thing that PC gaming doesn't have that PlayStation does is those sweet Sony exclusives. I wanted to play Ratchet & Clank. I wanted to play God of War. I wanted to play Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales so bad. And what other way to do it but with this next-gen consoles? Seeing how I started off with a PS5, it means that I got the advantages of using 4K 60 FPS for gaming. I luckily skipped out the whole 30 FPS the PS4 does, and thank goodness. That's slideshow frames. I don't even understand how that's still a thing. Nevertheless, that's how gaming should be done on TVs, and boy oh boy is it amazing. The fact that I could play Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales in 4K 60 FPS with the performance ray tracing mode on was surreal. It really felt like I was Spider-Man, swinging through New York City, going around, saving people, beating bad guys. It was fantastic. To elaborate more on my experience with Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, let's first start with the remastered edition of Spider-Man. That game is phenomenal. I love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Those movies are my childhood, and the fact that I get to play as him in the Spider-Man Remastered campaign was awesome. He is such a cool Spider-Man, and the fact that I played him in the campaigns felt nostalgic, to be honest. It was great. Spider-Man Miles Morales plays a little bit more like a DLC. It's just unfortunately too short. That kind of took away from the excitement. But the storyline was fantastic, and I had a good time playing as Miles Morales. Another thing that I've been using the PS5 for heavily is as a media device. Surprisingly, my TV has, Roku capabilities, but it's slow and kind of outdated. With the PS5, I get the snappiness and all of the entertainment with HDR, and it's a fantastic experience. It really has elevated my media consumption for the better. Okay, with that being said, overall, the PS5 is fantastic. Playing video games on it, 4K 60 FPS, media consumption, all of it is really elevated with this new console, and I really enjoy it. There are also some kinks that I have run into, the first of which was the fan noise. It's a really loud buzzing sound, and it was driving me crazy, and it was also breaking the immersion. Mind you, I play with a soundbar with my TV and I could still hear it. Link above to fix it. With the fan out of the way, let's talk about some actual kinks that I haven't talked about before. The first of which have to do with a really strange static screen that I would get. Here's what it looked like. Booted my PS5 up and what the heck? Yeah, and the sound system's beeping. Okay. Cool. Isn't that crazy? This issue would only happen when I would boot up my PS5 along with my TV at the same time. It threw me off. I did not understand what was going on, though I narrowed it down to my HDMI cable for my soundbar connected to my TV. Once I got high quality HDMI cables for both my soundbar and my PS5, this issue has no more persisted and I've been pretty happy. Though it is quite concerning and I have no clue what was going on. I felt like it was something worth mentioning nevertheless. Let's talk about the next few issues that I had. Firstly, I had my console just freeze up on me, causing me to force shut down the PS5 as well as rebuild the database. Once I rebuilt the database, everything was dandy. This happened when I was playing Spider-Man, Spider-Man Miles Morales, as well as in YouTube just the other day, and it was honestly just an inconvenience. Aside from that, after rebuilding the database, everything was dandy, but it is worth mentioning. The next issue was really anomalous, and that was my PS5 just refused to connect to my media remote as well as my PS5 controller. The way I again went to solve this issue was to rebuild the database. Once I rebuilt the database, everything was fine again. These were kinks that I had to deal with in my first month of owning it. I'm hoping that since I'm an early adopter, these are all software related issues that can be patched, but if this is hardware related, that will be concerning. And I'm really hoping that's not the case. Overall, my experience with the PS5 for a month has been phenomenal. I've had a great time playing Spider-Man, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and it's just been so good. I really cannot stress how fun it is to play in 4K 60 FPS, especially with ray tracing. Oh man, is it immersive. It feels like you're playing in a movie. It's an undescribable feeling and I highly recommend it to everyone. The last thing you might be wondering is it worth buying a PS5 right now? Or should you wait a few months? In my honest opinion, if you can wait, wait. I think that there are issues early adopters are having to face. So if you are patient and you're not looking to buy one right away, I think waiting a few more months, hopefully these PS5's issues get solved. So that's been my comprehensive unboxing and 1 month review. The verdict is out and to be honest, it's a great console. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've had a blast talking about this. Leave a like below if you enjoyed it, sub if you loved it, and I'm gonna go play Demon's Souls now. Take care, y'all.